live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
All right, we got another mental health moment.
Yeah.
And this one is, I think I had to check myself on this one.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you guys about it first. Carl Nassib is, I believe, a defensive player for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes.
He is the first openly gay player on an active NFL roster. Most people may remember the name Michael Sam, but Michael Sam didn't make it to an active NFL roster, and so Carl Nassib is the first openly gay player on an active roster. And he also decided to donate $100,000 of his money after coming out to an organization that provides support to the LGBTQ plus teens, to reduce the number of suicides. I'm going to be fair that when I first heard this, my thought was, why was it necessary for him to announce his sexuality? And in that thought, I said to myself, when thinking about heterosexual players, there isn't an announcement of their sexuality, is just expected, but it's not necessary to what they do as a player. And after maybe about an hour of thinking about that and wrestling with that, I thought about it and I was like, this is bigger than just allowing the world to know your sexuality. This is about these kids who are trying to identify their sexuality, and they don't have some of these players to look up to say, he probably dealt with or battled some of the same things that I have.
Right.
And so this is about more than just, let me tell you about my sexuality. It's about, let me be a beacon of light to some people who, who may be struggling with this, who may be struggling with identity. And for him to donate that $100,000 to, I can't think of the name of the foundation at the moment. But it was named after, I guess, a young man who had committed suicide.
I don't know. I can't think of it either, but yeah.
But for him, for that being the icing on the cake, let me also put my money in my mouth here so I can show you the reason why I'm doing this and why it's important. It took a couple of days for that to settle on me. Well, It took an hour for me to really be like, okay, maybe this is something bigger than just let me tell you what my sexuality is. But it took a couple of days for me to really get into that and be like, okay, this is bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? This is about representation. This is about identification, and pride, and so now
it's Pride Month, made sense.
Right. What did you feel, with hearing this news? Yeah.
I was excited. I was. I mean, Brandon Marshall, and they talk about knowing that they had teammates who were gay who just didn't come out publicly and say they were gay, but they knew those teammates were gay. Having people that I know personally who deal with because of their lifestyle, they get, having to feel that it's almost an oppression.
Right.
And so when you're able to freely be who you are and liberate yourself, unapologetically, just this is who I am. And it's almost like if it wasn't our skin color, right, that was so obviously different, if there would be like, that's the only reason why Black people we outed because our skin is, but it feels very similar to me in the fact that they don't, if we just be quiet and sit back and don't say nothing, nobody else sees it. That kind of thing that was done to us is what happens to the LGBTQ plus community. And so I feel like when you are comfortable, I say this to anybody, when you are comfortable with who you are, all of who you are, why would you? And I do believe, just like you said, he didn't do this he did it for multiple reasons, I'm sure. One of them being that he is unapologetically who he is, and he's okay with being that and saying that. But he also did it for the point of letting these teens know that it's okay for you to be who you are. Unapologetic. Particularly when you look at the suicide rate. That's why this is our mental health moment. The suicide rate amongst LGBTQ plus teens is astronomical. Astronomical, because there is so much, again, that oppression. I don't feel comfortable sharing who I am, or I might be outwardly showing you who I am, but not feeling accepted for that. That's a lot to deal with. We know what that feels like, right? Because I'm not making the choice to be a Black woman. I just am. And so because I am, I can't do anything about that. And therefore, why is it that I have to feel less than because I'm a Black woman? And so they have that same struggle. That same struggle. And so I'm glad that he did what he did. I'm glad he it's a level of awareness that hasn't been there before in this arena. Right? This is kind of the next thing, the next the next mantle that needs to be picked up. You know what I mean? Even though I think it's the next mantle that needs to be picked up. I was about to say something about how the whole Black Lives, but anyway, this is the next mantle that needs to be picked up, and I'm just, if he's okay with being that forefront pioneer, that because I imagine that seeing the support he's receiving will make somebody else who's gay or that's part of the that'll make them feel more comfortable saying, well, so am I, and you know what I mean, and not having to feel some kind of way of I gotta oppress and hide and shut who I am. Like that just doesn't feel good for anybody. It just doesn't. I just had this conversation with somebody that I love very much who happens to be queer, and just talking about the liberation that came with just being able to say, this is who I am. The liberation that just came just from simply being able to say, I love this person, and this is just my life. This is who I am. So I'm excited for him. His jersey is the #1 selling jersey right now. Love it. Love seeing the support for him. I'm sure his teammates will be the same way. Sure. Because they're used to this. Like, I love that they respected people's privacy. And not outed them per se. You know what I mean? I love that. But now just,
Well, I think that's where my initial thing came from, right? my initial response was like, you know who you play on a team with, you know. And it's one of those things where it doesn't need to be discussed. Like, we know we're not going to treat you any different because of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's your business. Right. And so my initial was kind of from that lens, my initial response. It was from that lens, like, you know, that's not something that you need to share. But after thinking about it, it is something that needs to be shared, because there are other young men and women who, you know, may be dealing with this and may be dealing with the feelings of it and feeling like they may be alone, and not having someone to look to and say, okay, this is something that I experienced, and I can show you that you can have pride in who you are.
Right.
So yeah, shout out to Carl Nassib for
it's a bold move. I love
picking up that mantle.
Absolutely. That's the big one. That's a big one. Especially in sport. It's a big one. But I love it for him. I love that he's willing to do it, and the support that he'll get for it. I'm excited for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Feel good final thought.
Listen.
You know, so, and we talked about this, right? I want to say we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. And I said that, you know, it'd be dope for us to highlight this, because you're starting to see the investment. I am seeing way more commercials with WNBA players. Well, not even just WNBA players. Let me take that back. Way more commercials with women's sport, female athletes, than I ever have before.
Absolutely.
And it feels like, okay, folks have said that we're going to pick up this mantle. Yeah. We're going to make that investment into women athletes, and put our money where our mouth is. We say that we're going to support, we're going to actually put the time in, and we're going to support. So it's really cool to see this. So the Jordan Jumpman brand now has more WNBA players repping the brand than ever.
11.
And that's huge.
Women. That's 11 women. Yes.
That's huge. Because I want to say it can't be that many more NBA players who are signed to Jordan brand.
Absolutely. He's real particular about who gets the. Yeah.
He really is. I think Zion just got it, and that would bring it to what Zion is an ambassador. Carmelo Anthony is an ambassador. It's not many.
No, it's not.
It's really not many. When you think about, you know, a few other players who may have signature shoes, and they aren't even Jordan brand. Like Kyrie has his own signature shoe. He's not a Jordan brand player. He is under Nike. KD has his own signature shoe. He's not under Jordan brand, even though he's under Nike. It's just good to see the investment happen, you know.
Absolutely.
Because we talk, you know, I talked about it from the standpoint of, you know, how do we make these women superheroes?
Yeah.
This is one of the ways.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's what what's the name? Jordan Canada. That's what she said.
Okay.
That's what she said. So the women, I'm gonna say the women's names because we gonna rep them for real. Okay?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Maya Moore, Kia Nurse, Asia Durr, Satu Sabali. I think that's how you say her name. Chelsea Dundee, Ariel Powers, Crystal Dangerfield, Ariella Karen. Oh gosh. Guirantes. Gwenteers. Her. Tia Cooper, Derek and Jordan Canada.
Okay.
And Jordan said that the representation matters because to have 11 Black women be a part of this brand allows younger generation and younger women to see that they can be like us. They can have that opportunity that I didn't see growing up.
Yeah.
I love it.
And when we talked about this, like I talked about who their demo was, right? And who I felt like they should be going after as a demo. And I think that stuff like this allows that to happen. You know, if we show these women as superheroes and we are marketing them to other young women, you know what I'm saying? And not just women of color, other young women.
No, because they're not all of color.
Right.
Yeah.
We can, you know, grow the sport in a way that will have it on the same level as the NBA. So
absolutely. No, I love it. And the Jumpman portrait, did you see it?
I didn't see it.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's Michael Jordan, he's standing like in the back in the middle. And it's the ladies.
All around.
And they all dressed, whether they got on suits or they got on dresses, they all dressed up real nice, right?
Oh, I got to see that picture. Yeah.
It's black and white. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like
that's
monumental. It is so bad. Like, yeah. I love it. I love this. I smiled immediately because I know the conversations we had about how do we bring that ability for that equity to the WNBA, and this is how you do it, right? Like this is how you do it, because now these kids, because they know Jordan, they might not know these women, but they know Jordan. And so, wait, now these women wearing Jordans. So let me see, who is the woman that's wearing the Jordans?
Right.
And now you getting their interest into the game. And now they're looking at basketball and they're looking at the WNBA and they're like, oh, okay. Like that is it right there. Yeah.
And it makes sense because I feel like the Jordan brand, you know, is one of those marketing tools that got more eyes on the sport for the NBA. We talked about how the NBA, like in the late 80s, the NBA was still on tape delay. Like they weren't showing.
They were, you're right.
They weren't showing the NBA finals live like that.
They still had blackouts. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's nice to see that the Jordan brand made a decision to invest in this product and say, yo, we are going to be one of the forefront companies in pushing the game, you know, farther along.
And that wasn't it. You know, that wasn't really like, that was part of the point. But you know, the other thing for him was why he chose these 11 women, because of their social justice initiatives.
Dope. Yeah. Shout out to Jordan.
Yes. Listen, you know,
he's been putting his money where his mouth is.
Not so much off, but he's been doing things lately that have just really been like, okay, you get it now. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So yeah, this is really good. I'm excited for them. So this is definitely one of those smile, feel good final thoughts.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Show picks.
Okay.
What you watching?
So I have not seen this yet because I got to figure out how to watch it. Right.
Okay.
But I Am Athlete had a special episode on Monday.
Okay.
Because Oprah Winfrey Network reached out to them and asked them to bring the director, the producers, and the two actors of this show, David Makes Man, onto the podcast to discuss, because there's such similarities because of the mental health capacity that Brandon Marshall talks about so much.
Right.
In this, and his take on it was I didn't get it. The director's name is Tyrell something. Can't think of it right now. But he said that he told Brandon Marshall that Black men don't watch TV.
Wow, really?
And he said, so this is part, like it's the chicken before the egg, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't Black men watch TV where they're not represented on TV often?
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, so what he's doing is trying to bring more representation to what a lot of Black men can relate to.
Right.
As their own stories, because it starts with the young man, Achille, is his name. I can't think his last name. He's the actor that plays young David in this story. And so he's 18 in real life, but he was 16 when they started this.
Okay.
Playing someone that was like 13 or 14.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. And so he it's him and his struggles with trying to figure out how to be how to navigate school and trying to go on to be something with his life versus the streets.
Yeah.
And what that struggle looks like. And it goes in his mental, and like a lot of the scenes that they showed were things where he was thinking, not what was actually happening.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting. So I said, I have to see this show because the adult him is a very successful man.
Yeah.
So it's just really cool. So I got to see this show, but that's the one I haven't seen. But I'll have to say what I did see though was Fatherhood on Netflix.
Okay.
With Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
It was based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
And the storyline itself was heartwarming, but to see Kevin Hart play this role, because it stretched him, because he could still be a little silly, but it was such a serious subject matter that he couldn't be silly like we used to seeing him be silly. And so he had to really like dig in and bring up some emotion, right? And so but he did a phenomenal job. It was a great movie. It was a great movie. So I recommend it. Absolutely.
All right. So my show was actually a movie called Black and White.
Yeah.
And I won't give up too much of the movie, but Kevin Costner plays the grandfather of this young lady. Mm-hmm. And on the other side of it, the young lady's father is a drug addict, but his grandmother wants custody of her so that she could be around her family. And it just kind of goes through the route of trying to get custody and what happens with, all of the characters, the grandmother, the father, the cousin who is the lawyer in the movie, and the grandfather who's Kevin Costner. Huh?
All right, Tyler Perry.
Right, yeah, right. Yeah. But it was a very good movie. I was thoroughly entertained. I should have been asleep while watching this movie because
if it kept you awake, then it was good.
Exactly.
Because you'll go to sleep on anything.
Yeah, on anything, right. But no, this was a really good movie. And I if you all get a chance to check it out, it's on Netflix. It's called Black and White.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I kept saying I'm gonna watch this, but it's always I'm always touchy about some of those movies that have to do with a little.
No, and understandably so.
Yeah.
But no, this was a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I will watch it then. You said it, I'll watch it. Fine.
Yeah. All right. We at the end of another one, 115.
Yeah.
Guys, please
Oh, stop. Hold on.
What happened?
Shout out Justified Lawn Care.
Yes. My bad.
My boy. It's my friend. This is his brand. This is his company. So if you're in the Charlotte area or know someone in the Charlotte area who needs someone to take care of their lawn services, please let me know.
Yes.
We got you.
You can reach out to Stephanie through, you know, the IG page or anything, you know what I'm saying, in order to get the info so that you can get your lawn taken care of.
Yes.
And shout out to him, man. We appreciate all of the support that you give us, man. Whether that be commenting on the video or just providing feedback, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We truly appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yes. But if you guys want to reach out to us, you know, you can definitely hit us on our email account. You can shoot us an email at fieldthenumber2therealpodcast@gmail.com. Reach out to us on social media on IG at fieldthenumber2therealpodcast, on Twitter at fieldthenumber2therealp1. You can go to our Facebook page and you can see whenever we post a new video, post a new clip. And you can go to our YouTube page, the Field to the Real Podcast. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. We truly appreciate, you know, you guys who are jumping on board and watching and, you know, just giving us your support.
Absolutely.
There's something else that I wanted to mention. I think, the website. We'll have the website up in not too long. We gotta, you know, get some stuff worked out with Shopify so that we can start selling our merch on the website. You guys can get you a Field to the Real shirt, you know what I'm saying, and walk around looking like us, the Field to the Real hats, all of that merch, you know what I'm saying? And so we're gonna keep pushing this thing. And we just glad that you guys are with us, rocking with us, because it's all about you. We wouldn't be able to do this without your eyes. You know what I'm saying? And we just appreciate you. We love you guys.
Yeah.
But we at the end of another one, and we out.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.